there was a massive, I say massive, uh, I done my video yesterday and we were talking about behaviors and we were talking about pushing things forward and why we fall off. And then one of my friends actually put a really awesome post out. Emil put a good post out which described one of the things I was talking about. And I wanted to expand on his post. And it's something which I say a lot about, how we don't build these foundations first. And the big reason why so many people will push forward for like 30, 60 days or 75 hard days and then end up at square one once again. And it's very draining. So many times I see people do it that I want to drop 30 pounds in 30 days. So I'm going to do this 30-day challenge. And then 12 months later, you're doing another 30-day challenge rather than using sustainable methods to move yourself forward. And there are 3 steps we have to look at when it comes to how we improve your health and how we really move you forward with your fitness as well. Whether that goal for you is to drop weight, whether it's to improve your strength, get more aesthetically pleasing, boost your confidence, finally get your motivation up and sleep through the night, get your energy up, blitz that brain fog, all these different things. So many different goals that we could have. And there are 3 steps we would work towards these. So many people, though, go for step 3. And the first step, though, is that we work on these foundations. And as Emil put it in his post, the behaviors. Step 2 is the physiological side of things. Step 3 is the theoretical side. But the way I look at it with people is the step 1 is about building these foundations, building the habits that are going to allow you to move forward. That these are the basics, the basic things. And if you are building these foundations, working on your behaviors, working on your energy balance, how many calories you're having, how many calories you're expending, where is this stress coming from in your life? Is it environmental? Is it physical? Is it psychological stress? Where is this stress coming from that is causing extra stress if you're in a calorie deficit, which is causing you to then fall off and potentially binge out or eat foods that aren't serving you well? Looking at your routine, looking at what behaviors are you doing? Are you eating loads of processed sugar before bed, which is impacting your sleep, which is then stopping you from get restorative levels of sleep, waking up during the night, needing the toilet, waking up with low energy, and then needing to fix that on caffeine, then that vicious circle that goes over and over again. Looking at things like your basic movement levels. So actually saying, not I'm going to go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week. I'm just simply going to get 7 or 8,000 steps in each day. And I'm going to be consistent with getting a walk in. And on the days where it is raining, I maybe do some push-ups or do some squats or some things at home, just some basic movements. And building your habits up. Eating consistently without using your phone and scrolling. Eating good levels of proteins and fats, not just having loads of carbohydrates and processed sugar, working on how you balance your blood glucose levels without even needing to test your blood glucose levels, working on your sleep, working on what you do before sleep, whether it's scrolling through Facebook or actually reading a paperback book or hardback book, a real book, like these actually exist. I can send you one of mine if you want. These are the things that are going to get you 80 to 85% of the results, building those foundations. And then we move on to step 2. And step 2 is where we look at a bit more specificity, where we look at your actual goals and what is the actual exercise that is going to allow you to get those maybe physique goals or performance goals. Is it that you need to add in some high intensity interval training? Is it that you need to look at getting more technique work in your runs? What are the things that are going to stop your body from getting injured as you push? Can we be a bit more specific with nutrition? Is it that you don't really need to have your breakfast, so we can do a bit of a fasting protocol? Is it that you're traveling a lot so you can get a fasting protocol? What are the things that we need to do to be a bit more specific with your nutrition, with your exercise, with your habit building? And this is what is going to get another 10 to 15% of results. But the problem is that people go to step 3. Step 3 is what I call the sexy stuff, that icing on the top. What's the point of having this icing on the top if you've got a really horrible cake in the middle? We see so many times, like, I don't know if you watch some like programs that are cooking or baking or anything like that. I love a good bake-off or something, but the presentation is great. And then people taste the cake and it is horrible. It is dry, it is chewy, it is overdone, tasteless. This is what we're doing with our health. We are working on that icing first, the sexy stuff. And this is where we have things like diets with names, because so-and-so celebrity or influencer or whoever the in-person is doing them. Ketogenic, we're doing vegan diets, we're doing paleo diets, we're doing loads of backloading, all these different things. We're doing a diet with a name because John down the road is doing it, and he saw it from someone on YouTube who is selling a book that has got no specific qualifications that is doing it. And this is the sexy stuff. We see this, and it's not actually built for your routine, your specific needs, where your body is at. So we try and do this diet, and we do it for 30 days, and then we fall off. Or we push too hard with training. We aim to do 4 or 5 sessions a week, and we get more stress to an already stressful lifestyle that we haven't balanced or built up these habits about, and we haven't sorted our sleep out. So we add more stress, which means that we then fall off. We crave more sugars. We get worse brain fog. Our sleep gets worse. And then we go on to do things like, we see so many people that are just craving this dopamine release, this next shiny object, that go to do the 75 hard challenge or something like that. And they fall off after day 24 or 25 and go back to the start, and they try it again. And they're shouting about it on Facebook because that gives them this dopamine release. They're craving this release to an already stressful body. They then haven't got the balance with neurotransmitters of dopamine and serotonin and GABA to help them sleep or feel content or keep that motivation up. So it's great. They go and do it for a few weeks, and then they say, actually, I'm tired now. I'm burnt out. So they stop. And then 12 months later, they end up doing the same thing again. It's where we get people doing pushing hard with bodybuilding, with CrossFit, with running Ironmans, or running, riding and swimming Ironmans, or really doing ultra marathons. Like, what is the big thing? What is the next thing? What is that next release to an already stressful lifestyle? And then we get deep into the supplement side of things, these biohacks and nootropics and all these things that are supposed to be there to help us put this cherry on the top, put this really nice icing there. But our body isn't ready for it. So we try these things, and then we need more of these things, and more and more and more. And it's this vicious circle that we get when we actually need to look at the foundations. And it's one of the reasons I get some really great results with clients, is because we don't just dive into that overcomplicated stuff. We build up the habits, we build up the routine, we build up good nutritional habits and good movement habits, and we work on sleep, we work on those foundations. And there may be some supplements that are needed, but we don't go to say, oh, you're going to have melatonin. If you need melatonin to sleep, there's something else that's going on. If you need Adderall to focus, there's something else that's going on. It isn't just about taking it. But the problem is that when we actually look at the truth, and we look at marketing, I'm not someone that's going to market you just to get your money. I'm someone that's going to tell you the truth. And if we want to get off these things, because they are doing harm to our body, most of the time, probably 9 times out of 10, there's going to be a dip that we have to go through, and we have to ride that wave to get to the shiny thing at the other side. You're going to be pushing hard, have this focus because you've had the Adderall, you've had this sleep because you've had the sleep tablets, which has just knocked you out, but you're not getting restorative levels of sleep. So the next day you need Adderall, then you need it with caffeine, then you need more and more, and all these different things that are going. But to get off that, our energy is probably going to be a little bit worse for a while. And then it's going to be absolutely awesome. It's going to be great. You're going to feel amazing. But the problem is that we get these dopamine releases when we shout about this stuff on Facebook. We shout about the sexy stuff, and it makes us feel more included, part of the community. But how far can we actually go with that before our body actually does burn out? How much have you actually focused on the foundations? We kid ourselves with it. We'll work on our sleep by buying some really shiny object syndrome mattress or air conditioning unit or the melatonin, rather than focusing on what are those foundations? What am I doing before bed? Have I actually switched off technology? Have I been watching Netflix in bed or YouTube videos scrolling through with blue light exposure? Have I had some food before bed? Have I had sugar before bed, alcohol before bed, all these things? It's easier to buy a supplement, right? But how long, truly, how long can your body last before it breaks for good when you have that? Now, if you want to chat further about health, you want to talk about getting your foundations in place and getting the accountability to build your body up, drop me a message. If you've got questions you want to specifically ask me, drop me a message and we'll get on a call. No sales or anything. Let me see what I can do to help you with your health. Simply drop me a message and we will go from there to get a time where we can chat properly and look at what you and your body actually need to move forward once and for all. No more shiny objects, no more addictive tendencies, no more wakeless nights, sleepless nights, wakeless nights. We want wakeless nights, sleepless nights. No more waking through the night or anything like that. Simply drop me a message and we'll chat further.